to welcome to Acadia's annual meeting. My name is David Desjardins. I am the president and CEO here at the credit union, and I'd like to welcome you all to this annual meeting. So before we get going, we do have some housekeeping duties to take care of. So I will turn it over to Erica and she can explain what those are.
Good evening. Just a few items about the meeting before we get started. Cameras will be turned off for all virtual attendees. Microphones will be muted. If you have any questions during the meeting, please use the chat feature. We will be using the polling feature in Zoom throughout the meeting to allow virtual attendees to vote on motions. Live attendees can raise their hand to vote or ask questions, and the meeting will be recorded. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Erica. I formally call this meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. And the first item on the agenda is the introduction of the directors and the supervisory committee. So I would like to introduce up on your screen right now, Mr. Percy Thibault, the chairperson of the board, Mary McCarthy, vice chairperson, Elaine Guimont, secretary, Chris Shaw, treasurer, Addie Dubois, director, Corinna Thibodeau, director, Don Guimont, director, Peter Saucier, director, and Peter Sidwet, director, also Ryan Pelletier, director, and last but not least, Mr. Scott Haley, director. And then we have our supervisory committee, Steve Willett, the chairperson of that committee, Gail Desjardins, Ina St. Jean, and Susie Parody make up the members of our supervisory committee. Next on the agenda, I would like to have a moment of silence for all our deceased members who passed away in 2022. Thank you. At this time, I will call on Elaine Guimont, the secretary of the board, to read the minutes of the last annual meeting, unless I have a motion to dispense of the reading of the minutes. And we have a motion to dispense, and we have a second. So up on your screen is a poll. If you are in favor of dispensing of the reading of the minutes, we'll give you some time to vote. Okay, if you haven't voted, do so now, and everyone's in favor. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have Chris Shaw, the treasurer, and Chris will read the treasurer's report. Chris, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate the time, and I have appreciated being the treasurer here over the last couple of years. On your screen, you can see the financial report this past year for 2022. A very successful year for Acadia, which we're very proud of. I'm sure you are as well. Total gross income of $12,501,181, up from 2021. An increase in our operating expenses to $10,272,876, up from 2021. But overall, maintaining a positive operating gain of $161,109. Dividends were close to consistent from 2021 at $1,077,844. Net income after dividends was also very consistent from previous year, up about 200,000 from 2021. You can see on the right side of the screen that our total assets did increase significantly from 2021 up to 313,762,405. And then at the bottom with the total liabilities and equity up additionally from 2020 to 2021. With those highlights, I will entertain any questions that the group has.
Okay, so it doesn't look, I don't see anything in the chat feature, any questions about the financials. So thank you very much, Chris. We appreciate the report. If there are no questions for Chris, I will entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report. You have the poll in front of you, so go ahead and please vote to accept the treasurer's report. Okay, and the results are 40 out of 40. Thank you very much, Chris. And with that, we'll move on to the report of community engagement. And I'd like to introduce Miss Jill Bouchard-Carnes, who is our VP of Employee Engagement here at the Credit Union. And she will give you the report of what we do here at the Credit Union to engage the community and some of the fun stuff we do and some of the more serious stuff we do. And so Jill, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Great, thank you, Dave. I always love presenting this report every year at the annual meeting. Since 1990, Maine credit unions have been raising money to help combat hunger in our local communities. And at Acadia, it's no different. We hold this very close to our near and dear to our hearts. We have two major fundraisers throughout the year. The first is a daily cash calendar sweepstakes for cash prizes. And then we also have our spring sweepstakes, which features summer themes prizes. We also sell popcorn on Fridays. Our team can wear jeans on select days throughout the year if they donate to the cause. We host fun events like the Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. Our coin jars are back out now that we're post-COVID enough to have those back out. And you can see some of the ugly Christmas sweaters. We really enjoy this event. We get into it. In addition, we coordinated another successful corporate donation campaign, which we've been doing since 2015. We would like to take a quick moment to highlight some of our top donors. You can see them listed here on the screen. Sunvest Solar, Dacom Lumber, St. John Valley Pharmacy, Daigle Oil Company, Deshane Sanitation Services, Marquee Well Drilling, Van Sickle Kia, and then White Oak. In total, our corporate friends, the list that you see here, in addition to other donations, it was $7,500, just under $7,500 towards our success. And we really can't thank everyone enough for all of the support that they've provided throughout the year for our Ending Hunger campaign. We came very, very close to our record smashing amount in 2021, collectively raising $47,598 in cash and food donations in 2022. And I'll say what I said last year at this time, just under $50,000. It's just an incredible effort that we couldn't have done without our members, without our team, all pulling together and getting this done. It's remarkable. It placed us third in out of all of the credit unions in the state of Maine. Which again is pretty incredible in my opinion. All of those funds that we raised in 2022 are soon to be delivered to 15 different food pantries and food assistance programs throughout the St. John Valley and in Bangor. Our Ending Hunger campaign would not be nearly as successful as it is without Allison Vizin, our marketing manager and Ending Hunger campaign coordinator. She is just a spitball of energy and fire when it comes to our Ending Hunger campaign. And we couldn't have done it without her and without all of our members and our teammates, pulling for the cause. So we appreciate all the energy and enthusiasm. And I have to do one shameless plug before I end with the Ending Hunger campaign, is that our spring sweepstakes is currently still going on until the end of May. So you have a chance to play a part in our success in 2023. So if you have not purchased tickets yet, please stop by one of our branches sometime before the end of May and contribute to our campaign. If anything else, it looks like Austin needs a little bit of help here. So it looks like he got himself into a little bit of trouble. So he'd appreciate the help getting out of that little cabinet. So, and now to turn on to community involvement. Giving back and volunteering in our communities is really at the core of what Acadia believes in. And it's exciting this year. We've had probably our closest post-COVID year that we've had yet. And it was nice to see that we were able to get back into the swing of things and get back into our communities. I'm going to highlight just a few events that were incredibly successful this year. The first one is the Northern Light EMCC Champion the Cure Challenge. We had several participants in the Bangor area walk and donate and collect donations for this. The sole purpose of the event is to support local cancer research and patient care. It was a whopping 86 degrees that day of the walk. So kudos to this team and their dedication for participating in this event. We also did several trunk or treats. This was sort of an outcome of COVID. Through COVID, a lot of communities started to do these trunk or treat events, and they just continued through even post-COVID. I'm pretty sure all of our branches were involved in some sort of an event along these lines. And as you can see from the pictures, you know, we showed up in true form, you know, decorated, lots of creativity in the costumes and displays. So it's nice to see this kind of energy and effort as well. Hands of Hope, we did this project again this year. We were able to purchase gifts for almost 90 children during the holiday season. Another incredible effort to show how much we support our communities that we live and work in. And a huge shout out to Jessica. She's sort of the spearhead of this event. And it wouldn't be as successful if it weren't for her. So we appreciate her efforts. Another event that we were able to support was local organizations did Festival of Trees and basket donations. You can see pictured here, Jen, one of our teammates, she put her creativity to the test. One of them was a cozy notebook themed tree, and she did several other baskets and other things along those same lines throughout the year. And she was just incredible in pulling all these baskets together. So kudos to Jen for doing this. Last thing that I wanted to highlight was our donation or our work with the Salvation Army, Dorothy Day Soup Kitchen. Thanksgiving time, a group of Bangor staff got together and cooked for 100 people in need. We actually had a team member who couldn't make it, who made, I think, around 300 pumpkin chocolate chip cookies in support of the meal. So she couldn't be there, but she wanted to play a role. So, you know, if this isn't a sign of our dedication to our communities, I'm not sure what is. So again, another great successful year of being involved in the community, something that we really hold close to our hearts. Lastly, I just wanted to touch a little bit on our company culture. Happy to report that, you know, in addition to spending more time in our communities, doing volunteer work, we also took the time this year to really nurture our team. COVID was hard. It was hard all around for everyone. And we felt like we really needed to pay some special attention to our team. You can see 4 teammates here pushing out. We had a car got stuck in the drive-through in Fort Kent. And Austin and Ashley and Lisa and Patty didn't even give a second thought to, you know, rolling up their sleeves and literally helping and pulling or pushing the car out of the drive-through. And this is just a great testament to the teamwork that we have across all of our branches. And working together. And so some of the things that we did this year to help kind of, you know, cultivate that spirit is we did a fall together breakfast. which we basically did a home cooked breakfast for all of our branches. We pulled together our first ever Spirit Week, which was a ton of fun. We had theme days like flannel days, Wear Pink Day for breast cancer awareness, sports day. We did activities like pumpkin carving and competitions. It was a hit, and we're definitely planning on another Spirit Week this year. Our CEO, Dave, does not know what we've drummed up yet for this year. So well, he doesn't know what's coming at him. It'll be another fun, crazy week. And the last thing that I wanted to note is a very proud moment for Acadia across the board. We were able to make the list of one of the best places to work in Maine. We've worked really hard to get this designation. And of course, we had to throw a party for ourselves. And it was a very cheesy nacho average team party. So it was Mexican themed, and we had nachos and tacos and all kinds of fun. So in closing, I just want to thank our teammates and our members for making 2022 just an incredible year. And I'm looking forward to what 2023 has in store for us. So thank you, Dave. Oh, am I talking about the raffle now too? Oh,
Yes.
I thought that was at the end. I
Nope.
guess you're gonna have to listen to me for one more minute. You know, true to our form, we like to give, and this annual meeting is no different. This year, we're actually giving 5 $50 Visa gift cards just for attending the meeting. So what we're going to do at the end of this meeting is capture everyone who attended, both in person and virtual. And we'll be making that announcement, not tonight, but either tomorrow or the next day. We'll be picking those 5 winners. So when you see here, we have Lena Corvo, who won last year. So good luck. 5 lucky winners from this meeting. We'll have an extra $50. So thank you, Dave.
Oh. Well, thank you, Jill. And I can't wait to see, well, maybe I can wait to see what you guys cooked up for this year's Spirit Week. So that should be interesting. But all kidding aside, I mean, how awesome is that? Almost $50,000 raised for ending hunger and local food banks, hunger organizations that we distribute through our service areas. So thank you to everyone who participated, whether they be employees or members who bought tickets or companies that donated. It was a great group effort. And yeah, it's a real problem in Maine. And I like to think that we're doing our part to combat that. So Jill is a very hard act to follow. But you get to listen to me now and present my report. So like I said at the beginning of the meeting, I'd like to welcome you to Acadia's 59th annual meeting. It's my pleasure to report to you this evening on our credit union's accomplishment, looking back on the year 2022. We continued to grow financially during the year, with assets increasing to almost $314 million as of December 31st. Loan demand continued at a record pace in 2022, even with the COVID pandemic still posing challenges and the rising rate environment. I'm very pleased to report that member loans now stand at almost $236 million, a net increase of over $41 million over the last year. Deposits also grew and now total $271 million as of the end of the year. And as Chris reported earlier, we ended the year with a net income of just over $1.3 million. I'm pleased to report that our record of financial performance is something that you, as a member of Acadia Federal Credit Union, should be proud of. And please remember that your credit union is a safe and sound place to conduct all your financial business with. Our capital reserves remain strong, even with all the challenges of the past year and the recent bank failures that you may have heard about. Remember, your deposits are insured to at least $250,000 by the National Credit Union Share Insurance Fund, and maybe more, depending on how your accounts are structured. Our federal regulators, the National Credit Union Administration, continue to supervise our operations. They are scheduled to visit us later this year and review our operations to ensure that we are operating and complying with their rules and regulations. They will also evaluate our performance to make sure the credit union is operating in a safe and sound manner. One area that I would like to touch upon tonight is the fraud trend that we are seeing happening on a much more regular basis. Believe me when I tell you that it is real, and as hard as we try to help our members not fall victim to these fraudsters, members have lost thousands and thousands of dollars to these people. Please be very careful with your private information, such as account numbers, social security numbers, passwords, and any other personal information. And also, please try to be careful of what you share on social media, because these fraudsters have become very good at trolling social media to gain personal information about you. And also, please be mindful of cybersecurity risks and take precautions to protect your computers and your mobile devices from these security threats. I really could go on for hours and hours on the various frauds that we are seeing, but if we would get into it, some of them would just blow your mind as to the various tactics that they will use. And remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. So please be careful out there. Next, I'd like to give you a quick update on our new operations center that we recently moved into in Fort Kent. 3 years ago, we purchased a building that was formerly the MD&A call center on Pleasant Street in Fort Kent. We purchased this building because of our growth and the increase in the number of staff we employ. We were out of office space on the Main Street location. Because of the pandemic and the uncertainty that went along with it, we held off on any major renovations until we had a better idea of where we were heading. In February of 2022, we started a major renovation to this building and moved in just before Christmas. And as you can see from the pictures on the screen, the place turned out beautiful. It now serves as our operations center, where all the management personnel and all the back office employees work. We will be keeping our Main Street location for all our member-related transactions. This building, along with the Main Street location, will give us room that we need to keep growing well into the future. And also, I'd just like to remind you that we will be having an open house for the general public on June 21st. So just keep an eye out for that. We will be publicizing that. So if you are in the area, you're welcome to join us in person, take a tour of the building, and see for yourself what this amazing space has become. So I'd just like to take a little bit to talk about our community support. You heard Jill speak a lot about that. But as a credit union that's deeply rooted in the communities we serve, we have continued to commit to support and uplift those around us. We have actively engaged in various community initiatives, such as financial literacy programs, sponsorship of local events, and partnerships with nonprofit organizations, especially those that deal with ending hunger. Additionally, we have provided scholarships to deserving students, empowering them to pursue their educational goals and achieve their life goals as well. Our efforts aim to make a positive impact on the lives of our members and the community as a whole. Now, let's talk about the future of financial services. The financial service landscape is evolving rapidly, driven by advancements in technology and the changing consumer expectations. Our credit union is embracing these changes and envisioning a future that caters to the needs of our members. We are investing. Sorry, lost my place here. So we are investing in these innovative technologies and digital solutions to offer a personalized and convenient financial services. Our goal is to provide a seamless omni-channel experience that allows members to access their accounts, apply for loans, and manage their finances anytime, anywhere, 24/7. We are also exploring emerging trends such as faster mobile payments and real-time payments. So stay tuned on more information about these evolving technologies. Before I close, I'd like to extend my thanks to a board member who has served the credit union for many years. Addie Dubois has decided not to seek re-election to the board of directors when her term expired this year. Addie was first elected to the board in 2006 of what was then Eastern Maine Medical Center Federal Credit Union, which later became Acadia in November of 2017. She leaves after having served 17 years on the board. You can rest assured that every decision she made was always in the best interest of the credit union and its members. Addie, thank you for everything you've done for the credit union over the years. We will miss you and wish you the best in your retirement. Thank you. In conclusion, our credit union has had another successful year thanks to our members, our employees, and our volunteers. We remain committed to delivering exceptional members' experiences while maintaining a vision of being the financial institution and employer of choice for our members, our employees, and our communities. So on behalf of Acadia's 87 employees and volunteers, and you're taking a look at all our employees right now, thank you for the trust and loyalty you have placed in us. And we look forward to another year of serving your financial needs. Thank you. And at this time, I would like to call on Mr. Scott Haley to deliver the nominating committee report. Scott? Pat, Scott, if you can make him a panelist. Oh, there he is. Scott, if you want to unmute yourself.
Good evening, everybody. Just going to give a brief report on the nominating committee work that we've done in the last several weeks. We have 5 board member terms that are expiring. 4 of them are running again. Those members are Elaine Guimau, Mary McCarthy, Peter Saucier, and Chris Shaw. As Dave indicated, we have 1 board member, Addie Dubois, that's served for 17 years, and she has decided to retire, and reiterate Dave's thank you from the board as well. Nominating committee considered different members to fill the vacant seat that is vacated by Addie, and have chosen Glendon Braley from Mapleton. He meets all the criteria and qualifications to become a board member of the credit union. So the nominating committee recommends that the 4 incumbent directors, Elaine Guimau, Mary McCarthy, Peter Saucier, and Chris Shaw, be re-elected to the board, and also recommend that Glendon Braley be elected to the board. Nominations from the floor are no longer accepted when there is only 1 nominee for each position. When there's more than 1 nominee, individuals nominated by either the nominating committee or by petition will be placed before the members for a vote at the annual meeting. In this case, since the number of nominees equals the number of positions, I'd ask the secretary to declare each nominee elected by general consent.
So moved.
Thank you, Elaine. Congratulations to the re-elected directors and our new director, Glendon.
Thank you, Scott. And congratulations to the re-elected members of the board and our newest board member, Glenn Braley. Congratulations all. Next on the agenda is, do we have any unfinished business or any new business to bring before the membership tonight? Okay, so I don't see anyone bringing any new or unfinished business before the membership. So at this time, as per the bylaws, I will entertain a motion to pay the expenses of the annual meeting. And you can vote. You have a poll there in front of you if you want to pay the expenses of the annual meeting. Okay, and the vote is 38 out of 38. Great, thank you, folks. Lastly, thank you all for attending tonight. And I'm not sure if Jill mentioned it, I might have missed it, but she did mention the door prizes. If you are the lucky winner of the door prize, we will be in contact with you tomorrow or in the next few days here. So again, thank you for attending our annual meeting. And at this point, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Peter. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you and have a nice evening.